Yo, monkeys, it's me, DDP, Diamond Dallas P. You monkey, you're listening to the Potsy and Tino show. And that's not a bad thing, monkey. That's a good thing. Bang!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I don't know why I went to another song. I
guess it was just a moment of silence. We were just sitting here waiting for DDP to come on.
Exactly. It's like, yeah, what a way to start the brand new year of the Potsy and Tino show. That's right. He's Tino Gray. I'm Rob Potsy. Podcheck. Theme song is always brought to you by Adam's House Cats, called The Wrestling Song. It's available on iTunes for
99
cents.
Why does it look dark? You ever like this year?
I turned the brightness down. I've been getting migraines.
Yeah,
so
I was like looking, I can't. I see my beard.
You normally don't see you.
You normally see me better than that. I'm like,
yes, I turned the brightness down. That shouldn't affect them though. So if you're in the audience, you can let us know if it affects you guys that I turned the brightness on the iPad down. But like I said, theme song is always Adam's House Cat. Does it really bother you?
I can't see myself. I see you great. It's the Potsy and Tino show.
Do you want to sit here?
No, why don't you turn the brightness up so I can see me?
I can't. I'm not turning the brightness. Is that better?
Where's your spot? Where's your ring light?
It's not plugged in. We'll get through it, man. We'll get through it. Don't
bug me the whole fucking show.
You're killing me.
I'm tired of now.
I mean, we just start, man. This is the first episode of the new year. And
I'm tired. I'm at the giggles here. So,
all right, here you go. There, and I'm gonna make sure that you're the only one that can see that shit.
All right, there. That's better.
No, I'm turning that down.
See, you got a comment. They're probably saying that's.
You like that?
Yeah.
There you go. God damn, that thing's bright.
What's it saying? Hi, guys.
It says hi. It does not say.
It says hi, guys.
Yeah, it says hello, guys. It doesn't say that he can't see anything.
Well, whatever.
Like you.
It's in the Tino, Potsy, and Michael show. It's a Potsy and Tino show. I want to be able to see Tino.
I want to be able to. I can see Tino fine.
I can't see Tino. No, that's a little better. But okay.
All right. So, you can catch us here every week. Maybe not after tonight. I don't know.
I'm sorry, dude. I got the giggles. I'm tired.
You have the giggles and you're punching. Like this is a bad combination. You know what?
It's gonna be a good show.
You need to pick up your four roses.
It's gonna be a good show.
And
it's gonna be a good show.
It's good stuff.
It's
good stuff. All right. So with that said, we always start the show with a little segment called "What's Up with You." I'm not. Did you raid my alcohol?
I'm not drunk. I'm just tired, man.
So why don't you go ahead and let everybody know what's been up with you the last week?
Let's see. So since what? Last Thursday?
Last Thursday.
God, really, really, honestly and truly is getting back into the swing of things. Because I was on vacation all last week.
Right.
Because of
right.
So
went back the last 7 months.
Yeah. So and then I was off Monday and then Tuesday. So it's just been like, of course, you went back and when you go back to work.
No, I don't.
You put when you used to have that.
See, now I'm doing it. Go ahead.
I put the little out thing. And so now I came back, had like all this fucking emails and phone calls I had to return and just trying to play catch up and getting Matthew back in the swing of things of going to school and doing what the hell he needs to do. And that's about it, really. Just trying to play catch up. Came over here Saturday to that was an adventure too. Came over here Saturday to watch the thing. So my friend here goes, "Hey, we can watch it on the computer. I'm like, okay, we'll go to watch it on the computer.
Well, then you said, can you put it on the TV?
And you said, because you said you did it last time.
I said I did it last time.
And so every time he tried to, we would get interesting.
Yeah. So what Tino's trying to say is that I was what's the word that's not going to get me arrested?
We were borrowing. No. We creatively found a way
to watch
the paper.
Yes. But every single time it popped up an advertisement. Most times it was for what's adult friend finder? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So Tino got to see more titties in 5 hours.
I was like, oh look, there's some more
that he's seen in years, I'm sure.
So I was like, oh look, there's more. So finally we figured out. So then it was like, well, he tried to do it off his iPad and it didn't work. So let me try to do it off my phone. Ironically, it worked off my phone, but then I'm like, I want to look up something. Nope, can't look it up.
Can't look it up.
And then Rob was like, I was fucking with Rob, so he's always he's like, get out. I'm like, I can't. We can't watch the pay-per-view if I leave.
I did say that multiple times, but it wasn't even just that. I said that. I ended up accidentally kicking the power cord.
Oh my god!
And that's what made it so we couldn't watch it on my iPad.
We had it. That's right. We had it.
It was working fine.
And he went to go get a drink or something. And he came back and accidentally kicked the power cord.
And then I couldn't get it on my iPad. I couldn't get it on my phone. I couldn't get it on the computer. I was like, and then Tino was like, well, let me try. Mm-hmm. And Tino went boop boop boop, and it worked fine.
And so I could put it there. Don't touch it.
Yeah. I was like, and of course Tino's like, yeah, but I might run out of power. So we had to plug his phone in, and I'm like, I'm gonna knock it over.
But I will say, because you said last time, it would every so once in a while it would stop, and you'd have to log back in or whatever.
The only problem we had doing it was randomly it would turn the sound off.
I know what it was. Because I was worried that I was going to miss something. So whenever I would get a message from my phone,
it would mute
the TV. So, but if that's all it did, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, we just hit that one. I just hit on the remote, and we were fine.
I figured that out when a little bit, and I'm like, oh, that's what, because it would do it, and I'd look down, and I'd have another thing on my phone.
What was Triple H going to talk about on Peacock today, Michael?
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
I didn't see it, but I'm sure you did.
Well, it's not actually. You know what? I can just go ahead and say it. Okay. He announced that that they're going back to Toronto for Money in the Bank. So that was his big. I mean, luckily his big announcement was just on a Peacock show and not on, like saying there's going to be the biggest announcement that's ever been made in the history of AEW.
You want to know what pissed me off about AEW? Well, you already know. We're sitting there like, okay, we're going to watch the scrum. Okay, we're going to watch the scrum. Okay, I sat here till like 1 o'clock, didn't I? You did trying to watch the scrum, and it never and
it didn't come up.
It finally later after I watched some of it the next day, but
yeah.
I was like, what the fuck's the problem? Why? But
yeah.
So we will be talking about that pay-per-view later, but until then, that's pretty much what's up with me. We had fun Saturday. We had a good time.
We had a good time.
So what's up with you?
Not really a lot. I went and saw Aquaman today.
Damn it. Was it good?
I went and saw Aquaman today.
Okay.
It wasn't. You know what? I would say I probably enjoyed it more than the first one, and I did not like the first one. Yeah.
I watched Shazam! Fury of the Gods today. I was bored.
Not as good as the first one.
No.
So I'll explain my frustration with this movie because
don't spoil it.
No spoilers. I mean, if you've seen a commercial for it, you know who the bad guy is. It's Black Manta again. And in the previews they show that he actually works alongside of his brother, right? The guy that looked like Aquaman.
Okay.
Yeah. So since Jason Momoa doesn't look like Aquaman, they had to have someone look like Aquaman in Aquaman. So they made it his evil brother, right? So just to explain some of my frustration, that there's a power source in this movie. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like Orin Canum or something like that, like some dumb name. And the scientist character for the bad guy sits there and says, "Hey, that's highly volatile and it could explode." So what are they picking this giant power source up with? Robots, giant robotic arms that go brrr, pick it up, slam it into something, move it, and then crunch it into place. Not a single goddamn time did it explode. So I don't think it was as volatile as they said it was. So that's just one of the, and then like there's moments where Momoa's character, you're just waiting for him to say, and that's when I kicked their asses, but instead he's like, and that's when I busted their heads in, and you're like, it would have been so much better to use, like just rethink it, like sometimes you just get a better line, and as somebody that writes this kind of stuff, that's something that I was like, oh, so otherwise the other things I did, I finished Ted Lasso, all 3 seasons. I finished it this week. Cried like a baby multiple times. That show wrecked me, man. It wrecked me. And that's a good thing for one of those shows. But I finished that and I immediately went, what the fuck do I watch next? Because that's have you watched Ted Lasso? You said, oh,
no.
Okay. You know what it's about?
No.
So Jason Sudeikis plays a American football coach.
Oh, I think you were telling me about
that. Yeah. Plays an American football coach who gets hired to be a soccer coach
in London, right?
In Britain, yeah, in the UK, and knows nothing about it. So it's him and it's his sidekick coach that go over there, and they have misadventures for 10 to 12 episodes a season for 3 seasons. But he's one of those guys that speaks in puns all the time, and they're really bad, but they almost all the time make sense, right? Like when he says them, you're like, oh. So he's like, well, it's like when you read Robert Frost, it can go either way, and that's it. That's like the whole pun, and you're like, it's profound, but it makes sense. One of my favorite ones is that like he's sitting there talking to his boss, who is a complete bitch at the beginning, but obviously like everybody falls in love with Ted Lasso. Is the whole point, is that like he's just too nice of a guy, right? And she's sitting there and she knows all about his sexploits with one of her best friends, and he goes, oh yeah, the whole girl talk thing, and she's like, yep, know all about it. And he's like, so am I a mess? And she goes, Ted, if you weren't a mess, do you think we'd get along as well as we do? And you're just like, shit, like, okay, and then she goes, so how are you feeling now after this conversation? He goes, I feel like a work in progress. And she just goes, nice. And then she walks off, and it's by the guy who did Scrubs. So immediately after that, I was like, what do I watch now? Right. And I posted it on Facebook. Hey, what do I watch after this? And I can always watch Scrubs. In fact, one of the conversations I had on my way here was, so Edge and I were talking, and he's like, so you always talk about how you think that Scrubs is one of those shows that like was like once in a generation kind of show, and I'm like, it was. And he goes, I don't know, Rob. Like I don't look at it that way. And I'm like, dude, if you were to watch it now, there are things that the show's been off the air for 15 years. Like I think it was off in 2008. Okay. It was one of the last shows that wasn't high definition, you know, and then made the transition over to it. But men in that show wore rompers before it was a fashion statement. It was one of the shows that really made sure that the music choices were specifically chosen for the outcomes.
That's on the same thing. Like Nicole, one of her favorite shows, and I watch it and I feel the same thing. They have the perfect music for the show. It's Supernatural.
Sure.
So Nicole loves Supernatural.
CW shows always did that.
And she loved, and same thing with
Dawson's Creek. And
another one of her favorites is Gilmore Girls. I'm like, yeah, they do the same thing. Yep. Now that I think about it, damn, One Tree Hill. All of them. Yeah, you're right. All
CW shows.
Yeah.
Or UPN or whatever they were back with it. But they'd be CW shows now. But that's just it. So and Scrubs I really felt like was the first one of those like
NBC.
It was on NBC.
Yeah.
And then it was ABC at the end. Or maybe it was ABC and then NBC.
I found it on one of the streaming.
It's on Hulu.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my god, it's 9 seasons. It's gonna take forever to watch this thing.
Scrubs, don't watch the last season.
Why?
Well, because they moved it to a different network, and when they moved it to the other network, it became where like JD played by what's his face. Shit, why can't I remember his name now?
That's the black.
No, that's Donald Faison, who's now in a show with John Cryer now.
Every time I see Donald Faison, I think of him Clueless. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't see anything in Clueless. Yeah.
but whatever his name is.
JD.
Yeah, JD in the show. The main character, he's only in half the episodes of the last season, and then the one that played Elliot's only in half the episodes of last season. And like Dr. Cox is, I think, in all the episodes, but like every other character, it was like they only committed to like half the season, you know. So and they would split time between them or whatever. Whereas the first 8 seasons, in fact, the end of the 8th season, which was supposed to be the end of the show, was one of those perfect episodes that ends a show, right? And then they were like, "Oh no, we're going to bring them back. They're all going to be teachers at a teaching hospital now."
Yeah. If I decide to start watching it, I've been watching Night Court though.
The new one?
It's fucking hilarious. Have you watched them?
I watched half of the first season.
Yeah, you gotta watch them.
I didn't really like Night Court the first time.
Oh my god.
Well, I think I would like it more now, just because I think I get all the jokes. You know, because I mean, like Brent Spiner was on that show, like Data from Star Trek and shit like that, and he plays like a really weird, like woo kind of guy. But and I think he even made an appearance in one of the new episodes.
Not yet. Sorry, my Bill Jabbar did.
Because
and Roz.
Yeah, I saw the whole thing with Roz, and they're like, and she's like, "Look at you fielding, almost trying to get touchy feely."
Yeah.
But
so what's her name from Big Bang Theory?
Yeah,
She's a judge.
Bernadette is Harry's daughter.
Abby Stone, but her real name is Abracadabra Stone. Because Harry was a magician, so he named her Abracadabra. Abracadabra Stone. So she called her Abby.
So, but Dan becomes a judge.
Okay, so he's still the prosecutor. And then in the end of the last season, he got a chance to go back to Louisiana, where he's from, to be a judge, because he felt like nobody loved him at Night Court anymore. He didn't have any friends, so he was going to go home with all his other friends. And then he fucking hated it, so he came back. But
wasn't he wearing like the judge outfit?
Yeah, he was the judge in Louisiana for like one of the end
one episode.
Yeah.
Okay. And
he is still fucking hilarious. John Larroquette is hilarious.
So I one of the things that I started this week was I now run trivia at one of the local pubs around here, which now going to be 2 of the local pubs around here, because they apparently liked me so much that they offered me a second night. So I will be doing that. And it sounds like I'm going to have a John Larroquette trivia question there, because Well, I kind of guess I gave the answer already here, but who was the voiceover in the very first Texas Chainsaw Massacre's voice? It was John Larroquette in a non-credited role, and he was given, I think they paid him in ribs.
Hey, a lot of people do that. Like I know James Earl Jones has done that a couple of times.
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman did one, but you can recognize their voices.
So Morgan Freeman actually is one of the answers to one of the trivia questions for next week.
Oh, God, yeah,
so it's who's the only Academy Award winning actor to appear on to be a cast member on the old 70s show The Electric Company.
Oh yeah,
It was Morgan Freeman.
Yes,
dude, that's 50 years ago.
I used to love that show. They had the Spider-Man. They had the little bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't Morgan Freeman. He was a detective. He was Dracula too. I used to love that show.
So yeah.
Hey, you guys.
So that's gonna be
cool.
That's one of the trivia questions. I already put that one in, so that one's in there.
You got to put in another one. An award-winning actor who's on Pee-wee's Playhouse. There's a few of them, but one in particular.
Oh, you're thinking Lawrence Fishburne.
Yep.
But when you say award-winning, you got to tell me what award.
And he won like an Academy or Emmy or something.
I don't know, but you know what his first movie was? I do.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get you, sucker. No, that was Samuel L. What?
Nightmare on Elm Street 3. He was the orderly. Yeah.
That was his first movie. I knew he was in it. I realized that was his first movie.
That was his first movie.
Okay, cool.
Maybe first credited movie, but yeah. And you know Johnny Depp's was Nightmare on Elm Street 1.
Yep.
Yeah. So interestingly enough, Johnny Depp did come back and make a second appearance in the Nightmare on Elm Street series. He was in Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare.
Yep.
With Roseanne Barr, which was just odd.
Yeah.
Sorry, big fan of those movies. So otherwise, there's about a week and a half left to order your copies of Zor. So please get to your local comic book shop, order your copies of Zor, because the book comes out next month, and I am super excited.
In the Raleigh-Durham area, where would one go to get it?
So in the Raleigh-Durham area, you can go to any of the Ultimate comic shops. Specifically, ask for Zor from Keen Spot or from Potsy, because they know who I am. If you're in like Greensboro, you can go to Acme Comics, do the same thing. You can go to Sailfish, which is 2 S's. You can ask them.
So Ultimate's the only place in Raleigh. Like if I want to go get it.
I think it is, although there is one in Zebulon called Comics World now that people can order it from. And then of course our friends at Dragon's Lair in Fayetteville will have an exclusive cover. Drawn by local artist Daryl Murphy, who is working with me on a new project, which we've talked a little bit about.
So no special covers around here in Ultimate?
No, but remember, there is the C cover, which all the proceeds go to charity. So we want to make sure that people,
I'm gonna get one. I want to get like a special cover, like this. I want to get a cover like everybody else. I'll just come here and have you sign it, but
well, you could always come to the signing.
Well,
we could even do a show while we're doing the signing.
It's not when I'm playing or working. Yeah,
that's probably why you're working. Yeah. Although it could be a Saturday, like midday.
Yeah, like I said, I work on Saturdays till like 12. Remember, I got classes.
Well, normally I would do like 1 to like 5 or something like that.
We'll see.
So
I'll do that. Yeah.
So right now I plan on doing a signing at Ultimate Comics in Raleigh minimum, as well as Dragon's Lair, because obviously if they're going to do an exclusive cover, I'm going to make the trip out there to do one with them. And that one will actually be with the artist Daryl Murphy, so that way we're both there signing that version of the book. If by any chance you cannot make it to one of our signings, you can actually go to keenspotshop.com and search for Zor on there. There is actually the option of ordering a signed copy by myself and also or Michael Adams, the co-creator of it. If you end up buying one that is signed by both of us, you will notice that it is a little bit heftier in price, but the reason why is because you're paying for the shipping between the two houses. So that covers the cost of the shipping on it.
I still have that silver pen.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, the chrome ones. Yeah.
get them to something.
Yeah, I'll probably have to order a couple more of those. But yes, I do have the chrome markers. And that's typically what I sign with when I go to shops and
I
sign.
think that's cool.
No, it's awesome. It's awesome. So all right, Tino. That's really all that's going on right now.
Yeah, there's not really a lot going on. I'm thinking there's not really much going on in wrestling.
Well, you said we can run down the results of,
we'll do that
of the AEW pay-per-view. Oh, which was that right there.
And that'll run it. Then we'll talk about this week, so we can what happened in aftermath. We'll talk about last night's show. All right, so
Tino pulled up the results.
Well, some of the pre-show we were looking at boobs, but because it kept coming up, we couldn't get it to work.
Did keep coming up with boobs. Although we did with the pre-show we just had on YouTube.
All right, so we had Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale, which I thought Stat was going to turn on her.
Right, because of the whole.
Yeah,
I want to say Malcolm Bivens, but Stokely Hathaway.
But she didn't.
Which is a better name? Is it Malcolm Bivens or is it Stokely Hathaway? Stokely. Yeah.
So we had Willow beat Chris, which I was also pleasantly surprised.
But you know what? I think it's because it was the end of the year and they were going to start the stats over.
Okay.
Right. So like, and that's one of the things that AEW likes to do is I noticed last night it said Orange Cassidy was like 30-1 last year.
Mm-hmm.
And, but it said he was 30-1 2023. And obviously last night he had the first match of the new year.
Well, that kind of makes sense too. That's probably why they did what they did with MJF and Samoa. So we'll get to that too. Okay.
Makes sense.
Yep. Then we had the 20-man battle royal. The winner of that would receive the TNT title shot, which we saw come into play later. Kill Switch, aka Luchasaurus, won that.
But not AKA. Right now he's
I know.
Kill Switch.
I don't like Kill Switch. Wheeler, Yuta, and Hook for the FTW Championship. We knew who was going to win that.
I didn't care.
Yeah, I wanted to see it because I knew it would be a good match.
It was Wheeler that won, right?
No, Hook won.
No, I'm kidding.
Shut up. So then we get into the pay-per-view.
Yes.
The 8-man tag, which consisted of shut up. The Blackpool Combat. No, it wasn't. It was Danielson, Cesaro, because he's calling by other name, Garcia, and Mark
you refuse to call him by his real name.
And Mark Briscoe, yeah, against Switchblade, Roosh, Brody King, and Jay Lethal.
So basically everybody except for Swerve Strickland and the two people that were actually going in the finals of the Open, and that one ended with who won that?
Garcia, Ken Lethal.
And Garcia had like the worst record in the entire Continental Classic, so consolation prize, hooray!
Yeah, and I wonder what they're gonna do with Lethal, because Lethal kind of looked good. And then when he was who was it? Jerry was trying to console. No, it was Dutch. Sanjay was trying to console him. He's pushing him.
Yeah, he just pushed him away.
So I'm wondering if Lethal's gonna go on his own now.
I don't know. Maybe we get Black Meat Cheese.
I hope so. And I really do. Either that or the.
I mean, I think he actually.
That or Flair. That'd be so fucking funny how they got Flair there.
Oh man, what if he starts asking Flair to come out to his matches, and then they start having woo offs?
That would be. I don't care. I don't care they did it in TNA. Every time I see that on YouTube, I fucking laugh. I piss my pants.
When the one dog in the yard sees the other dog in the yard. Woo, 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 woo.
That's still hilarious.
It really is. It really is.
Andrade y Idolo against Miro.
This one kind of felt like it went the way it had to. You called out that CJ Perry was probably going to turn on Andrade. She did.
You said no because you thought it was too soon.
I did, but it's because I didn't read the reports that Andrade was leaving. So knowing now, hindsight being 2020, it's one of those things where absolutely I would have said CJ's gonna turn on him. However, if they try to do it where CJ picks up another client and Miro starts going against that guy, why would you ever be her client?
Yeah.
Like, you can't do that now, right?
I wouldn't want to be her client anyway.
I'd be her client.
No, and I'm saying, knowing the Miro's coming for you, no.
Once.
Once. Okay. Okay.
Jump out the window. It don't matter.
Tony Storm and Riho.
So there's two things I want to say here. The match went exactly the way it should have.
Storm was getting. I thought that Storm was more of a face, but they were booing her. And I don't know if they were booing her because of May.
I mean, she's meant to be a heel,
but she's so fucking good at it, dude.
But it's also New York,
mm-hmm.
You know. So it's one of those. It's like Philadelphia. You go to Philadelphia,
but they were booing her though.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. So they were doing it correctly. Like AEW fans don't cater to the cheering and booing the way they. I mean, how long were they cheering MJF when he was a heel?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So like they are backwards fans.
Yeah.
But I want to state that this was the second pay-per-view in a row from AEW where the women's world title went on before.
Yeah. What have you been saying about Tony Storm matches? You would like to see, you would think it'd be cool if they did it.
Oh, where every time you saw her, she was in black and white? Or if they just put her in black and white?
Bleach Report. It's kind of surprising AEW doesn't go black and white for Storm's matches. It happened here and there, but only for brief moments.
And so the only time it seems to happen during the matches is when she's the only one on screen.
Yes.
Or her and Luther.
Yes.
I
forgot about Luther catching Rio and just handing her off. Storm could body slam her. That was all. Luther is fucking priceless.
I mean,
yes, you did. Yeah. All right. The match that I didn't understand, and it kind of pissed me off. So I'm like,
you want to go on a rant?
Swerve Strickland and Dustin Rhodes. Now, if you knew that big bastard Keith Lee was hurt, why did you wait till the day? Because I didn't realize. I think you said you heard. I didn't realize until damn Dustin Rhodes showed up on this thing. I'm like, the fuck is that shit?
When did Keith Lee become a white dude with blonde hair?
So he was unable to compete. So then you knew who was going to win. Dustin Rhodes wasn't beating fucking Swerve Strickland. At least Keith Lee, you thought maybe.
You know, honestly, it would have been better if he did. Because the way that match went.
Oh, you saw it at the end.
Well, let's talk about the beginning of the match. The beginning of the match, Swerve Strickland breaks Dustin's leg through a cinder block. Yeah. And then Dustin seems to go for 20 minutes in a fucking match. Are you fucking serious?
He sold for like 5, and all of a sudden he was walking again and running again. For 5 minutes, he was looking like, oh. And then it's like, oh, I forgot. But and then he would every once in a while he go, oh yeah, my leg.
But you know what you do in this situation? Oh, I'm selling a cinder block breaking on my leg. You know what you do? Put him in a leg lock.
No, my
match is over.
No. My fucking favorite is they were hauling his ass up, and this motherfucker thought he was motherfucking mankind and gonna hobble his ass back down there. You know what? As soon as he stuck his head in that ring, Swerve should have stomped the shit out of him.
And just 1, 2, 3, yes, match over.
They should have that this match was bullshit.
It should have been a squash.
Yes, this match
should have been a squash. It should have been over. I mean,
we agree on. Yes.
And not just that though. When the match ended, Swerve Strickland, and the reason why I'm going to say this, Swerve Strickland at the end of this match was like, don't you ever put me in a match like this again.
No, he said, don't you ever put me in a bullshit match like this again.
But that's what I mean. Like once I was actually not using the language. But he was like, don't ever put me in this kind of bullshit match. I'm better than this. I deserve better than this. And he walked up legitimately looking angry as fuck.
And I was like, who the fuck? And you were like, he's talking to Tony Khan.
And I'm like, he's talking to Tony Khan. And then we got the main event of Dynamite this week, which we'll talk about later, but did not help his cause.
No.
Especially if you saw what happened after Dynamite.
They said the other 8-man tag. What that? The other
show that.
I don't know if you can see that.
So there you go, folks. If you can see it, it says the other 8-man tag match.
Oh God!
Because Tony Khan knows how to book them.
Sting, Darby Allin, Jericho, and Guevara battle. Take a shit. That's what it says. Hobbs, Big Bill, and Starks.
So let's start by hitting the elephant in the room here.
Oh God!
Earlier in the day, Chris Jericho had tweets that were like 4 years old, not from him, but other people saying that he had sexual accusations made about him, innuendo, different things that really made him from Kylie Ray. But there was a post from someone else that said, so when's it going to start being said that it's not okay for a woman to be left alone in a room with Chris Jericho? And it was from another female, and Kylie Ray hearted the tweet, right? So that kind of started the whole shebang. But I got a phone call earlier in the day from our buddy CJ, and CJ was like, what do you think about that news about Chris? Now, first of all, I thought he was talking about our friend Chris, who passed away the week prior. And he's like, oh, no, man, I'm so sorry. No, Chris Jericho. And I'm like, what? I'm like, give me 10 minutes to look it all up. Let me try to find as much as I can.
As you texted me, I was watching a video about it.
Now, the guy from House it is, has now said that he just got pissed off about something that Chris Jericho said to him and didn't have a basis for his tweets.
Blocked him. That's what he's pissed off about.
But Tony Khan didn't do anything.
Did you send me that?
I sent the scrum.
Yeah, that bullshit thing where they were like, he was ducking the questions.
Well, he did exactly what I said you have to do in that situation, which is you can't say anything because you don't know anything. However, saying that he has one of the safest wrestling promotions in the world, when he literally 3 months ago sat there and said that his life was in jeopardy backstage because of a backstage altercation with talent, you can't have it both ways.
Sure you can.
Well played.
Sure you can. Well played. Potsy.
No, that. Hold on, I'll be right back.
So here they were.
So who got the win?
Oh, I'm sorry. Guevara, Sting, and Jericho, and Allin.
Right, but who actually got the win? Guevara was the one that got the win.
Starks.
Yes.
Here in some of the notes, it said, the crowd was chanting "Fuck you, Chris" at one point.
NDA.
Yeah, and then something else.
Non-disclosure agreement, by the way.
And then something else you pointed out, and you were laughing at, and they said too. I'm gonna read it to you. Bill's boots really stood out in a comical way. Remember, because you even said something about his boots. No, you said, look at us. Oh, they look like the dude from the man in the yellow hat from Curious George's boots.
Yes, they did. You said that, and I was like, those boots are distracting as fuck. and by the way, you've now seen this multiple times. We say something either live or we say it on the air here, and all of a sudden the internet wrestling world.
Yeah, we just say so. I don't know if they've got this house bug or something.
But they might. But I mean, like, you know, the whole, like, I said JD McDonough has like the biggest head in pro wrestling, and all of a sudden Wade Barrett this week sits there and goes, the biggest headbutt in pro wrestling. So you mentioned the scrum. I want to point this out. During the scrum, Tony Khan was actually asked specifically about the allegations on Chris Jericho, and like Tino said, he skirted around it the best he probably could. However, he went a step too far by saying he's got the safest wrestling promotion in the world when it comes to these kinds of events. And we know he does not, because this... Yeah, I heard you the first 3 times with that. Um, so
there you go.
yeah, it started to itch for real. So, but the statement of, you guys know I can't talk about any of that stuff because I don't know about it. Like we'll investigate, but I can't say or do anything about it right now. The question that keeps coming up is, did an altercation backstage and in a hotel room, from what I'm hearing, but between Chris Jericho and Kylie Ray lead to Kylie Ray being dismissed from AEW? That's where it becomes, if it led to,
did she leave or did they fire her? I can't remember.
I think her contract was not renewed. But again, even in that situation, if it's a point where her contract was not renewed because somebody in a high performing position in the company sat there and said, I don't think we should keep her any longer, then there's probably some stuff that goes around. The part of the more interesting thing with this entire situation is, we all remember what everyone thinks were drunken tweets from Chris Jericho from just a couple days before that, when he was stating to CM Punk's lawyer that he's never in his entire career in pro wrestling signed an NDA. When you start thinking about, like, if she was asked to not say anything, she would have to sign a non-disclosure agreement, which you would also think would mean that Chris Jericho at some point was asked to sign an NDA. So if Chris Jericho stated he did not sign an NDA ever, then I would almost assume that she has never signed one, but she also didn't want to hurt her possible future employment opportunities. So it's a tough situation. So all right,
Julia Hart versus Abaddon.
match went exactly the way we expected. Sky Blue came down. Sky Blue ended up distracting Abaddon. Abaddon ended up losing to Julia Hart. However, at one point, Julia Hart got bit by Abaddon, and I said, wouldn't it have been cool if Julia Hart went under the ring and grabbed like a green neon marker and started marking her arm where she had been bit, so it looked like she was being infected by Abaddon? I thought that would have been awesome.
This is spooky. You thought they were saying bitch is spooky.
Maybe they're being nice about it. I think it was bitch is spooky.
All right. Here's the match.
Go ahead.
That was affected by the earlier 20-man winner.
Just go ahead.
Be the TNT.
Just go ahead.
Fucking Christian Cage and Adam Copeland for the TNT title.
Christian is so the man.
Adam Copeland was kicking his ass for a while though. It was like a one-sided match. Then Christian had his comeback. Then Mother Wayne,
I love how they call her Mother Wayne now. The matriarch.
Yeah, jumped on the apron, distracted Edge.
You keep talking because you obviously have some feelings about this one.
Distracted Adam Copeland.
Oh, I'm not gonna be able to get out of here.
As he turned, Christian tried to come up on him.
This is gonna be interesting.
Edge wins the match. And Adam Copeland wins the match.
Edge wins.
This is where
the guy I was talking to earlier. Edge.
Yeah. This is where the match turned for me, and it pissed me off. So Copeland wins. Yay! Right? So we're like, yes, I made it. Then here comes big ass Luchasaurus. Excuse me, Kill Switch.
Yes.
With this little binder thing, which has the contract because he won the 20-man battle royal earlier, saying that he got a TNT title shot, right?
Correct.
So he goes to hand it to the referee. Christian Cage comes in and goes, whoa, 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 and tries to snatch it. Killswitch holds on to it like they want to give it away. And then Christian whispers something in his ear. And he just kind of bows his head down and gives it to him. Christian hands it to the ref. The referee starts the match. Christian hits the spear.
Kill switch hits Copeland over the back of the head first.
Okay. Then Christian hits the spear. Pins him 1, 2, 3. Is now a 2-time TNT champion.
Technically, he thinks he's a 3-time.
Yeah.
Actually, I think didn't he say that he won it for, like, he was the first ever champion of it on the first episode of Collision?
But what was the purpose of letting Adam win that belt and keeping it for fucking 10 seconds? And what was the purpose of letting Killswitch win that motherfucking title, win the fucking battle royal to get this thing, and then his big doofy ass gives it Christian Cage? Why didn't he fucking hit Christian with a fucking kill switch and tell you, fuck you, I'm getting my title back?
So, okay.
It was stupid. Okay, A, you let this man, he's worked his way up. He keeps the belt for fucking 20 seconds at that. And B, kill switch gives his fucking title shot away.
Well, all right. The Facebook group's going to love me for this.
Oh, shit.
It's Eric Bischoff booking.
Okay.
And you've seen it, where all of a sudden it's like, oh, Macho Man just won the world title. But wait, Hulk Hogan wants that belt tonight. Hulk Hogan's the world champion. In fact, every time the Macho Man won the world title in WCW, Hulk Hogan beat him within 24 hours, if I remember, to win that title off of him.
Every time who won?
Macho Man.
Okay, yeah.
So, obviously, we're also talking about the company that had the Fatal Poke of Doom. We're talking about the guy the company that ended up having Goldberg lose by getting cattle prodded. So, okay. So when we talk about 2023 and we talk about Tony Khan's booking of a match like this, it is the most unended dastardly thing that Christian could have done, right? But what is he? The most underhanded, dastardly guy in all of AEW currently.
Short sleeve turtleneck.
I love it. No. It's sleeveless turtleneck, sir. Not short sleeve turtleneck. It isn't, because he would sweat too bad if it was short sleeved. But the kill switch thing is where this becomes really interesting because of Wednesday night.
Yeah, well.
And we'll talk about that in a minute. But it was... He obviously has something on him. And there's something else that annoys me about the title situations in AEW at the moment, after the pay-per-view, mind you. And that's that everyone seems to be talking about how, like, when this guy wins the world title or this guy wins a title, they will then hand it over to this guy.
Yeah.
When the fuck did that become a thing? When Christian did it with Killswitch. When he started just carrying the title as if he had won it. And then they were like, well, shit, he's actually so much better than Killswitch or Luchasaurus with that title. We've got to figure out a way to get him that title. And they did, right? Adam Copeland beating him in a no disqualification match, by the way, which in AEW, there's no need for a no disqualification match because they don't disqualify anybody, right? Am I wrong?
Oh,
They do disqualify people?
they have one of those shows that you don't watch, like Rampage.
Well, I know with the Continental Classic, they actually stated that you could be disqualified, which means I assume that every other match is a no disqualification match. So I'm starting to understand this at this point, but I still don't think that if you do it in front of a referee, that they shouldn't be able to penalize you.
All right.
So, okay. The Christian and Edge match probably exceeded expectations.
Apparently, Copeland wore the same gear he wore during his hardcore match with Mick Foley.
Yes, did look like it.
I forgot about Copeland yelling at Nigel. Remember that? He yelled at Nigel, and Nigel, he's like, turn around. I was like, okay. He turned, made him turn. So that was funny. And the Wayne's World, which you didn't like that. Was it the name of it you didn't like? But they said the Wayne's World that Nick hit on Copeland on the ringside looked great. And it did look good. But yeah, so Copeland.
Yeah, there's some really badly named wrestling moves now. Wayne's World being one, Stun Dog Millionaire. I mean,
so next match.
Yeah, Eddie Kingston.
Yes, sir.
Okay. King of the Bums.
Hey, don't matter.
Versus the Bleedaholic.
Who didn't? Did he bleed? I think he bled.
No, I don't think he did. I do not think he did. I think Eddie might have actually. I think his lip might have been busted open. I still didn't like Moxley being in this match. It went fine.
It made sense.
It did because of their history, but it didn't based on everybody getting pissed off that Moxley kept winning.
I think that was another reason they did it too.
I think it was always meant to be if Eddie Kingston's going to put his 2 titles on the line, that he was going to go from last place to first.
No. I think that they got tired of Moxley winning, or they knew that people were getting tired of Moxley winning. You know what I mean?
No, because as soon as he has his next match, he's going to win.
Well, because it's 50-50 booking because he lost this.
No, I'm not even saying against Eddie. I'm saying his next match, he's going to win. And with Moxley, it's not 50-50 booking. He's like a 96%
No, I'm saying
winner.
in general, AEW is 50-50.
Sure.
You lose one, you're going to win another. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess. All right.
And the big one, I'll let you go on that one. MJF Samoa Joe. There's so many things.
I wonder if before the match, MJF was like, we got to keep this short. He looked hurt throughout the entire contest. He looked like he was really trying to get through the match. And he was against an opponent that legitimately looks like he could hurt you. I mean, what's the phrase? Joe's going to kill you, right? So we were shocked by the outcome.
Yes, and we'll talk about that too, because I went back and watched it again.
The Adam Cole coming down.
Not that.
Well, hold on. But him coming down at the beginning of the match to support his friend made me think it was the salmon jacket.
Yeah.
You know, like John Cena came down, John Cena sitting there shaking his hand, and John Cena had no reason to be there if Mark Henry's retiring, right? The only person other than Mark Henry that should be in that ring when Mark Henry's retiring is Vince McMahon at that point.
No, because I think Adam Copeland was still
Adam Cole.
Adam Cole was still, it's my best friend. And at that point, okay, I want to come down. I want to come down and support my best friend.
I get it.
I can see what they were trying to do.
I get it. But the commentary team kept saying, I think Adam Cole is more of a distraction to MJF than he is helping him. And they kept saying, it was almost too obvious. The thing that wasn't obvious was when Samoa Joe put him in the clutch and the hand went up once, came down, went up twice, came down, went up the third time,
came down like on his
and just stopped, but it was like dead.
And people looked at it at first. Was it supposed to go all the way down, or did it just? I think he's like, what the fuck to do? For a second, like, fucking go. You know what I mean?
The interesting thing though is that they were at like 11:53 at that point, so it was like, if we're finishing tonight at midnight, we gotta go home. So I think that's how it was booked. But I think it was booked that way because, one, you never know when Joe's going to get you like that. 2, Joe legitimately can get you like that. 3, people have been complaining about matches ending and needing like 8 finishers and whatever. And with AEW, it's every time you're in a Young Bucks match. But
what I was confused of. Okay, so when his arm dropped, it went to the mat. 1, it dropped again, it went to the mat. 2.
And the third one landed like...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the rest of the ref was like, what the fuck is that?
Well, except the referee did that. He dropped it onto him. You know, so
that's like, and then after the bell rang, and we were like...
Yeah, we
both looked at each other like...
We're like, are they going to restart the match somehow? Like, what are they...
What the fuck was that?
And...
It just ended weird.
So, the other thing I think that goes to is that it allows them, if they want to figure out a way to turn Tony Khan heel, that he screwed MJF.
Do not play the Mr. McMahon thing for Tony Khan. That's not
Hold on, you are talking about a guy who grew up at the same time we did watching all this stuff. So he is going to play up every single one of those moments that he can. I don't think he wants to be on TV. He obviously doesn't do enough of this to be on TV.
No, he does too much of that to be on TV.
What,
every week.
Okay. Tonight, in this very ring. You're right.
The Undertaker.
However, after the match, the new Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, who we still didn't have a name of, and we didn't know who they were, we didn't have music, nothing, hop in the ring, as well as two other masked men, and
they grabbed Adam Cole. Now, before all this happened, I think it was like months ago, when we were all trying to figure it out, I was like, what if it is Adam Cole? It's the devil. Then I was like, well, no, it can't be. Then I kept, remember, I was going back and forth. Now, when those lights went out, because they had MJF on the floor, and they had Adam Cole on the floor, and one of them had a chair, and Adam Cole's like, and Adam Cole's like, hit me, don't hit him, and MJF, don't hit him, you leave him the fuck alone, da, 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 da. And the lights went out, and I said, what if those lights come back up, and it's Adam Cole standing? And the lights came back up. He was sitting, but he was the fucking devil.
But he was like this.
I was like, I fucking called it. And I also had said,
he looked like that little girl from the meme that just has a big smile with the pigtails.
And I had also said, what if, and this is for, I said, what if Roddy and the Kingdom were part of those masked men, because they were hollering MJF's the devil. I said all this Sunday, and then it fucking came true. Now, that the Wardlow thing took me out by surprise.
Not me, and here's why. Because if you notice, every single person that was calling MJF out over the past couple months, every single one of them were the guys that ended up being those guys.
Yeah.
And specifically, I mean, they kept saying, Max, you're gonna find out. I'm gonna expose you. You're gonna do this. You like. Adam Cole was the other one. Adam Cole kept saying, trust Joe, trust Joe, trust Joe. All of a sudden, Wednesday, it says, pleasure doing business with you, Joe. You know, like, and then this week, you know, we're getting ready to start talking about it. Yeah. But you have a new AEW World Heavyweight Champion, and it's the first one out of every AEW World Champion that you have to look at and go, this guy isn't specifically a hand-picked ratings draw. And I'm not saying that Joe isn't great. I love Joe. Like Joe is one of the best in the universe when it comes to being a professional wressler.
He spawned one of my catchphrases.
Where the fuck did Joe come from? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But look back at the other AEW World Champions. It was Jericho.
Moxley.
He's a draw. Moxley. He's a draw. Kenny Omega. He's
Hangman.
Kenny Omega is what AEW wants to be a draw. They think he's a draw, but I don't think he actually draws more than 1 million. CM Punk. He's a draw. Hangman. Moxley again. MJF is a draw. And
Joe's going to be a draw.
Joe, I mean, Joe deserves to be, as long as he stays healthy, right? Because obviously in WWE, he had problems with that. Now, granted, they were putting him up against bigger people like Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman and whatever, but ideally, he's literally the first not homegrown AEW talent that never drew a dime in WWE.
I mean, I think he was an NXT champ.
He was a 3-time NXT champ, and Triple H obviously thinks he's a draw.
Yeah, he didn't do anything when he got in the main. Did he?
He got Brock at one point, but he lost.
He didn't get any title.
No, maybe US, but again, he's the first guy that, like I said, wasn't a homegrown AEW talent that Vince McMahon probably would have been like, we can't make money off this guy. So it'll be interesting. And it does lead us into a brand new era of AEW, which I think we ought to go ahead and start talking about. Dynamite opens up with
when they came out,
the Timu Undisputed Era.
When they came out, I'm like, they're going to call themselves the Undisputed Kingdom. And then that bastard said, the Undisputed Kingdom. I'm like, really? That's so unimaginative. That's so lazy. That's so...
It is, because, they could have just called themselves Royalty.
Anything.
But calling themselves Undisputed again, like they were the Undisputed Elite.
Because I think they're still trying to play in the Undisputed Era bullshit, but because you have Roddy, you have Cole, and if they wanted to, when
Kyle O'Reilly, yeah, sure.
But why are we still riding? I understand, if you're a casual WWE fan and you hear Undisputed, whatever, and you see Adam Cole, you're like, oh, okay, I remember this. But it's lazy.
Except, and you're 100% right, but here's the problem with it. When they were the Undisputed Era, they didn't beat AEW in the ratings. So when they were the Undisputed Era, this was Vince McMahon getting pissed off saying these guys don't earn me dimes. So constantly going back to this Undisputed thing is just hurting themselves. Yeah. And you nailed it. It's lazy. It's unimaginative. What other adjectives can I put on there? The fact of the matter is that, like, it's about as bad as Roddy's mustache. And we already know that he's gone stale already with the Adam bullshit. He's still doing it. Well, at least he only did it once. But once again, we get the whole moment of we're all about getting all the gold. We already have the
Taven and Bennett are the tag team champions.
Right, which aren't gold. But they're Ring of Honor tag team champions, so that doesn't matter to me. Like, I don't think that really counts.
Roddy's going for
the International Championship.
And then Wardlow
will go after. Well, down the line after he proves himself.
No. He said he's going to go.
He's going to move up the rankings.
No. Wardlow. He said Wardlow's going to go against Joe for the gold. He said, and when I'm healed and I get better, he will then relinquish it to me.
So you're close. He said as he moves up the rankings and
I just watched
and earns that world title shot. Joe, I'm hoping it's not you because we'd hate to hurt a friend. But when I'm all healed up, that's when Wardlow will hand that championship over to me and let it be on the shoulder. And Wardlow's just sitting there going, because he's just the big dummy apparently. So is he what's underneath the kill switch mask? Because a little bit later in the night, the patriarch comes out. Which, by the way,
Rich Mother Wayne.
I like the name, the patriarch.
And the whole group's called the Patriarchy. I'm like, really?
Yeah, I mean, why not?
All right, whatever.
But him saying that the whole thing of he was the inaugural TNT champion on the first episode of Collision, and him saying he wants to thank Nick Wayne, he wants to thank Mama Wayne, and then he goes, and I have one more person to thank.
Yeah.
And he's staring right at Kill Switch, and he goes, I want to thank me. And I was like, I knew he was going to do it. I knew he was going to say that. But the best part of that whole thing was Tony Schiavone. Because if you watch Tony Schiavone, he's staring at Luchasaurus and he's like, And the crowd is chanting Luchasaurus, and it finally gets under Christian Cage's skin because he goes, shut up! His name is Killswitch. So he finally acknowledged that he was standing behind him. But dude didn't even consider.
I don't understand it.
And by the way, I Mama Wayne is like instantly like, I don't know if she's actually.
How dare you boo a mother?
Wait, she's like, you boo me? You dare to boo? She sounded like Miss Piggy. Kearney, you want you to sit there and boo me? You're like, what? But I wonder if she's actually an actress and not really.
No, that's his mom.
Is it?
That's Buddy Wayne. That's his wife. Yeah.
Wow.
That's kind of like Vicky Guerrero. You know what I'm saying?
Well, but Vicky Guerrero didn't look like Mama Wayne.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. They brought her in because they probably brought Nick in, and probably.
Excuse me.
Yeah, that's his mother. But, then we got.
But hold on. In that moment, once again, an AEW champion sat there and said, "And when I'm finally ready to retire, I'm going to hand the championship off to keep it in the family, so that it's always in the family." And he's talking about handing it off to Nick Wayne. And I'm like, so that's twice tonight. They're talking about just handing over championship. Hey, here you go. Here, you want it? No. Oh, okay.
Before we get to the main event, which was Swerve and Garcia.
I mean, there was a lot that happened on the episode.
I want to go back to Toni Storm.
Sure.
And she's doing her interview with Renee Paquette. And at the end of the interview, she goes, she's something like up or something. And she just jumps on his arms and she goes, hey, tits. And she takes her fucking shoe over her head. Renee's like, really? What is going on?
Renee also, during that interaction, she goes, Renee, your perfume
yes,
is pungent.
Then we got Soraya and the crazy bitch from the TV. What's the point?
Oh, is she a reality TV show?
No, remember when what's his name had the TV? It was kind of like TMZ, but it was Q.
QT Marshall.
Yeah, that's the blonde chick that was in there.
Oh,
and she came out singing.
I liked when she came out with the butcher knife.
Yeah, that's the same chick.
I did like when she came out with that, and I like that Ruby sits there and she's like, I thought this wasn't going to be good, but she seems to have worked out so far. And then as they're getting ready to leave, she starts saying something, and Soraya looks at her and goes,
"You're making it too obvious.
You're making it too obvious. Shush." And it's like, and Renee's just like, "The fuck is going? Like, we're all what the fuck?" And mind you, suddenly the women's division in AEW is oversaturated with non-talented people.
Oh, damn.
But I do want to point out that Mariah May had her first match against Queen Amendola, and she gets the win. Mm-hmm. And then
she wanted Toni Storm to come out and watch.
She wanted Toni Storm to come out and watch, but she said she can't because it's New Jersey.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. You gotta remember that I was tired. I fell asleep and I woke up. I had to rewind it a couple of times.
But
I kept falling asleep.
But who came out?
The Dina
Mercedes. No,
Russell, the virtuoso. She kicked the fuck. She caught the house.
Well, she got slapped first.
But she got slapped, and then she slapped back, and that girl ran at her, and she just went nope. And kicked her. I was like, oh my god.
So I will point out that she actually made more sense coming out last night. People had already known that she was signed with AEW.
I didn't realize. I heard that she
no longer was with TNA. But yeah, she'd been fired by WWE like 3 times. I didn't think she was coming back. But when she came out, obviously it was New Jersey, and she is from New Jersey. Now she looked like she put on some packing material.
She's about the same as she was.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
I mean,
I used to watch it.
I mean, she's still thick.
Yeah, she's
gorgeous.
Like she lost a little bit.
Oh, you think so? Okay.
Yeah.
She kicked. But when she said, and folks, I want to point out that when it comes to Deonna Purrazzo, she grew up wrestling with two other young ladies. One of them is Chelsea Green, and the other one.
They were all together in TNA. Fuck.
No.
I can't think of her name. I can see her face. I can't think of her name. Who was it?
Britt Baker.
Oh, no.
Yes.
That's who I was thinking. No, that's not who I was thinking.
I know. That's why I said no.
Shut up.
But yeah, they all grew up in wrestling together. They actually at one point wanted to do the AEW World Championship versus the TNA World Championship versus the New Japan Women's World Championship. And unfortunately, I don't think any of them ever held the New Japan Women's World Championship. Yeah. But obviously Britt Baker's, she might be on the road sooner than we thought, because if Adam Cole's on there every week, she doesn't have to be home unless she's taking care of the dogs or whatever. I don't. Anyways, but Deonna Purrazzo instantly improves the women's division.
Oh yeah, she's going to be a champion.
Yeah, but which champion?
The world champion.
Right, because the one that should be the world champion, Julia Hart, who goes on later in the show than the world champion.
Oh, shit.
What are you looking up?
I want to fucking watch her kick her in the face again. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, you can watch that later. What's next? I do want to talk about someone who was suspiciously absent.
Who?
From Dynamite. Well, remember, Darby Allin went against who?
Darby Allin?
Yes. Takeshita.
Yes.
The Alpha Takeshita, which obviously is part of the Don Callis family. So, continuing that angle.
The Alpha and the Omega. But he's got
diverticulitis. No, but not Kenny Omega, who was Kenny's tag team partner recently.
Jericho.
But did you notice both Jericho and Guevara were mysteriously left off Dynamite last night? It was Darby Allin that wrestled and got his ass kicked by Takeshita. Got his ass kicked. I mean,
yes, he should.
Yes, because he's 112 pounds.
Yes, as he should.
I mean, he literally, I've taken shits bigger than him.
Damn.
I really have too. Like, some of them are nasty. But I didn't even pop you with that.
No.
Tino 1, Rob still 0. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, that's all.
So, all right. So,
Swerve and Garcia.
Was there anything else that happened?
I don't remember. I'll look up.
I mean, somehow we're already at an hour and 13 minutes, and I don't know how that happened. But
we were talking about other shit.
We could talk about Swerve and Garcia. Swerve and Garcia, and after Dynamite went off the air.
Oh, we forgot Orange Cassidy and the
the first match of 2024. So Terrence was sitting there. He was like Dante Martin gonna win this match. And I was like, you're full of shit.
I did think it was cool when he started doing the damn orange kicks to Orange. That was cool.
So one of the things that I actually said to Terrence last night as well, and I want your opinion on this really quick. Remember when AEW first started? Now we're talking 5 years ago, right? In fact, officially 5 years ago, as of 2 days ago.
Really?
Yes, because it was like January 3rd, I think, is what it was. So I guess a day ago, 5 years ago, because that's when they held the press conference and everything, and then they held their first thing in September.
Right. Trent Beretta, what the hell?
Oh, Trent Beretta yes, I wanted to talk about that. But I want to talk about the Dante Martin and Orange Cassidy thing first. The 4-way match to determine who becomes Eddie Kingston's first challenger on Collision this week.
I gotta go back and watch
We can watch it as soon as this is over. But
sorry.
No, you're fine because I did want to talk about that because, like, I was surprised by who won. Don't read it if you haven't watched it yet. Don't read it. It's just you get mad when I sit there and I give you spoilers. So we're gonna talk about that in like 5 minutes.
Are you gonna tell me who won in 5 minutes anyway?
No.
Okay.
No, I will not.
Okay.
But anyways, 5 years ago, when AEW first started, they were like, everybody's got a chance to be world champion.
Yeah.
Now they've only had like 6 world champions.
Yeah. And there's all been next WWE guys.
Well, not all. There's been 2 now or 3 that were just AEW guys. Kenny Omega, Hangman, and MJF.
Okay, you're right.
All the other ones have been ex-WWE guys. Now, granted, it's because there's only 2 companies.
Right.
And like I said, Joe's the first one that was the one that Vince said can't make me money.
Right. All right.
Anyways. When this match with Dante Martin and Orange Cassidy started off the night, you knew you were going to get a banger of a match.
Mm-hmm.
I was worried that Dante Martin would get hurt.
Yeah.
Because
he's accident prone, injury prone.
And after the match ended, who came down?
Everybody.
It was like Top Flight. Yeah. It was Private Party. It was all the teams that get injured. And Danhausen's cursing them. Just want to point that out. So, okay. Guys, we can't talk about the 4-way for the Continental Championship because Tino doesn't remember the match.
I slept through it.
He slept through it, so we can't talk about that. It was a 4-way dance. I think Roosh was supposed to be in it, but he got replaced by somebody because Roosh apparently hurt his ankle. Not surprising. Because it's the safest wrestling company in the world, by the way. But anyways. Yeah. Starting to dry out. So, main event. Swerve versus who?
Garcia. Oh, I forgot to mention the funniest thing in the fucking pay-per-view. I'm sitting here.
Wait, no, it wasn't in the pay-per-view. No, it was here. It was here.
Oh my god. So Rob decided
Swerve when I drive. Swerve when I drive.
That's exactly what he did.
I did it on air, okay?
I was like,
I popped you.
He popped me that night because I was like, oh shit.
Yeah,
that was the
but hold on.
I can't say what I say.
Yes, you can. Because I'm sitting right here. You can absolutely. We were not going to get canceled by you sitting there saying that's some trash ass white person dancing.
I was like, you look so white doing that right now.
I actually preferred my statement there.
Oh,
trash ass white person dancing.
No, actually, I said you like it. What did I say? You like a retard?
No, you can't say that. And you did not say that, by the way.
You like a toddler. I did say you like a toddler.
You did say I look like a toddler trying to learn how to walk for the first time. Yeah.
Anyway. And when I started doing the Garcia, that's what reminded me. Anyway.
So, exactly who we expected to win won the match. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly who we expected to win. However, in this match, is Garcia the quality of... What are you going for? There's nothing in there. They're almost empty. They really, I mean, there's like this many in there.
Garcia. I think they're trying to build Garcia.
They are
trying to build, but if they are, they should.
They're doing it very poorly
in a match with Swerve. I mean, I can see that if they're trying to build him, they're trying to get that rub, and they're trying to make him look strong. But they should not have put him against Swerve.
But one of the biggest phrases in pro wrestling is someone goes over, someone can get over. Those aren't. If you have a sore throat, take one of these.
Yeah,
there you go. These are better. Those will actually like numb your tongue.
Oh yeah, I have some of those.
Yeah,
the honey.
I'm not a fan of those.
I don't have the honey one. I got the menthol ones.
God, no, I hate
the regular
menthol.
ones. Yeah, and he does. You like that?
Yeah. I took them to the convention, and I was like,
Like I had a list.
So after the show went off the air, Tony Khan came out and actually did state specifically that you are going to see a lot more of not Dante Martin, but Daniel Garcia highlighted in 2024.
He said that when it went off there. How do you?
Because it's on the internet.
Really?
Yeah.
Why Garcia? Out of every.
Well, I think he's from Jersey.
Oh, that's probably why they did it.
Or the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania kind of thing. But he specifically said, give it up for Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia is going to be one of the people that we highlight a lot more in the future.
I mean, he's good. He deserves it.
He is, and everybody has been putting him over. I mean, like Continental Classic, like he would lose to like Bryan Danielson, and Bryan Danielson would be like, and all of a sudden everybody get pissed off that he wouldn't shake their hand, like. But I just, we keep saying it. He needs to stop doing the
No, you keep saying
the hip jerk.
You keep saying that. I think that's what's getting him over.
I think it's starting to get him over, but I think it's like Roddy, where it's starting to lose its luster. Although when Swerve did it last night, trying to show him how to do it, it was money.
Trying to show him how to swerve when he drives. Let's get another. The only big thing that I want to hit is the big thing that happened.
No, there's other stuff.
Okay, wait.
And I am only going to talk about Raw.
Because I think SmackDown was the
best of episode. Although NXT
was great.
It was, but it was lackluster too, because half the matches that got announced suddenly weren't the matches that got shown. What was the main event?
Oh yeah, Dragunov was still hurt.
And there was another match where Dragon Lee wasn't in his match.
Carlito came out. I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
And Terrence sat there and said, "Why the hell's Kevin Owens out here?" Because Kevin Owens came down during the main event.
Well,
because it was Grayson Waller versus.
You didn't.
I didn't
with the sound on. They said that they announced that a ex NXT champion wanted to come out and watch that. So that's why, and it made, and so yeah, so.
Well, I said it made sense just because he was also currently technically feuding with.
But that's why Kevin Owens was out there
and able to knock him and another man out with one punch.
And then also they explained, if you didn't have sound, why is always making matches now, because she's like, somebody once told me da. So
talking about Paul Heyman.
Yeah, I'm gonna help.
He's talking about Ava, by the way, folks.
Which her dad was on Raw Monday.
Yeah, he was, but Raw was. I know that they like to do the season premiere of Raw.
No, but remember, I was saying what I'm saying is because I was saying last week, why the fuck is Ava making all the matches? Because they're trying to keep somebody happy.
Always.
Yeah.
But okay, let's go ahead and start with the first match of 2024 on Monday Night Raw. Becky Lynch versus Nia Jax. And what happened?
Dude, she got knocked the fuck out.
You know what I think they were trying to do?
Break her fucking nose again?
I think they were trying to make her look legitimately hurt, so when she comes out wanting to fight,
Becky,
I think they're trying to rekindle that fire that happened when she became the man.
I don't know, but that shot looked real. Okay, so we all know the wrestling accidents.
See, you didn't want to talk about this. No, I don't think it was an accident.
I forgot about it. There's Snug, and there's what fucking Nia did. that was whoops.
I don't think it was. I think so. Based on everything I've read, because I read like Bleacher Report's report on it and everything else, that's how the match was supposed to go down. So her getting busted open, like
I don't know if she got busted from the hip or when she fucking jumped on her.
No, she was bleeding before that.
Okay,
she was bleeding before that. Yeah. She like right before it, you could see a little coming out of the mouth, and it wasn't a lot of blood, and it might have been a blood capsule. I don't know. Like WWE doesn't want blood, but they're becoming a little bit racier. But what I read was that they said you can see the improvement of Nia Jax's in-ring ability since returning, and this match was a prime example of it. And I kind of agree. I think that she should have went over. I don't know. But
I can see her going over, like you said, for Becky to come back.
Well, and that's what I think it is. I think Triple H is like, hey, you might be getting a little stale. So what if we what if we try to rehash that whole thing? And it was the first time her and Nia Jax actually had a singles match against each other, which is pretty interesting to think about.
Yeah.
At the same time, you already said it might be done to make sure a specific someone is happy. And you also earlier on Monday, so you got mad at me, but you sent me at like 3:00 in the afternoon a TikTok from someone that said, hey, take a look at the Fox on NFL thing that The Rock showed up at, and who's in the background right there? You sent it to me.
Yeah, but I just sent it to you because it was like a maybe, and I was like, it could be a possible. No, I sent it to you, but I didn't want to know if that was him or not.
And I didn't say it was him.
Because I told you.
But I didn't tell you.
I know because I said, motherfucker.
He was like, I'm about to block you. But, okay. So I also want to point out the Judgment Day overloaded Monday Night Raw to the point where Awesome Truth was hilarious.
Fucking hilarious. When he came out, when that Judgment Day music hit, and R2 came out by his damn self.
And he's like, dog, I'm going to tell you, they was behind me just like 5 minutes ago.
What are you doing now? He said, I'm the PR. Because, a lot of people...
I do PR, I do marketing, I do payroll, I do...
And then when they made that tag match, he goes, okay, Dom, I follow your lead. And then when he was standing in the neutral corner waiting for the tag.
And the referee was like, no, you got to go over there. But my favorite part was when he went to the other side and JD McDonough tagged him in, and he comes into the ring and he's like, no. And he's like, come on, dog, let me do this. Oh, and finally they were like, all right. And he's holding the Miz like this. He's like, and he used the Shawn Michaels Ric Flair line. He goes, Miz, I'm sorry, I love you. And he went to hit him, and Miz drops down, and he knocks JD McDonough out. So good, man.
No, my favorite part is when they were doing an interview earlier. He said they were behind me a minute ago, and Miz goes, "Are you talking to invisible people?" And he goes, "Is Little Jimmy here?"
and the crowd started chanting for Little Jimmy.
Man, Truth will never get old.
So
he is fucking comedy gold, hilarious.
So we're obviously going to talk about The Rock coming back, but I want to talk about the main event first because it didn't make sense to me. Okay,
that was the title match, right?
Yes. Now I do also want to say Rhea Ripley had a great match in my feelings with Ivy Nile.
I was so mad though
because you wanted Ivy Nile to win.
Yes, I did.
Not in her first singles match.
But okay, so here's what I was hoping in the first match. Okay, so yes,
which I guess Paige did it, and
if Ivy didn't win, I was cool with that. But I wanted that main event. I wanted that belt to change hands. I knew it wasn't going to be McIntyre, and I said I knew that Damian was going to come down. I was hoping Damian was going to be able to cash in.
So I'm glad you're talking about that because what I didn't understand was this: we're in the middle of the match. And Damian Priest comes down saying he wants to cash in now.
No, I think he was trying to distract.
No. They actually said he's trying to cash in, and Drew McIntyre came out, and Drew was the one that knocked him out. And then Drew knocked out Dominic Mysterio. What I didn't understand was this: is that after that, Seth ends up, Drew McIntyre ends up twisting Seth Rollins so far that his foot ends up on the ropes. 1, 2, oh, the foot's on the ropes. Yes. That's not that. Okay, fine. Seth comes in. Seth does the stomp.
Yes.
1, 2, 3 on Drew McIntyre. And the whole time, the commentators, Wade Barrett and Michael Cole, are sitting there specifically saying a thwarted effort on attempting to cash in the money in the. Why didn't that motherfucker just cash in right then and there? After the match was over.
Hit him in the head with it.
Well, yeah, run into the ring, hit him as many times as you want, grab a couple chairs, who cares? Just knock his ass out and then say, I'm cashing in my money in the bank.
I agree.
1, 2, 3.
I agree.
Brand new World Heavyweight Champion. The whole thing of Drew McIntyre prevented the cash-in. How the fuck did he prevent the cash-in? He prevented it during the match. Yeah. But what about after the match?
Because when is Money in the Bank? He's got to cash that thing in before
May.
Oh, May. I don't know why I keep thinking it's around the.
You think it's around WrestleMania? Yeah. And the only other thing I can think at this point is why is no one talking about Damian Priest actually cashing in on Roman Reigns? That's the only thing that I can think of, because it allows another heel to win it, allows Cody Rhodes to go against Damian Priest at WrestleMania if that's what they want to do. It's not, by the way, folks. I'm not insane. I know that they're going to keep it on Roman through WrestleMania. And now let's talk.
I don't, but why would they let him beat him for it?
Well, here we go. At the 10 o'clock hour, WWE confirms that a former world champion is going to be making their return to Monday Night Raw. And who is it?
Wait.
No. Go ahead, say it.
No, I can't.
Randy Orton.
So when he walked out, I was like,
I loved it. But as soon as he walked out, I was like, it's going to be The Rock.
I didn't think it was going to be The Rock. I didn't really think it was going to be The Rock. I thought it was going to be somebody. I thought,
Well, there was rumors that it was Andrade. There was rumors that it was Mercedes Moné. There were rumors
Batista.
Batista being like the first one announced for the Hall of Fame this year. There were all of these, and that's how good they are at keeping it a secret now. Except for that TikTok that this motherfucker sent me, where the guy sat there and said, "Did you notice who's standing behind the two of them? Oh, it's Nick Khan," which means The Rock's getting on the private plane and he's flying 3 hours to go to fucking Raw.
I thought maybe because he was saying, that guy that I sent it to, he was saying that the last time he was on SmackDown, it's because he was in Colorado doing the football thing with Pat McAfee.
Flew 2 hours and
So I was like, well, it could be. What is?
No. But I was already thinking there's a possibility. And the reason why is because suddenly, so there have been rumors, folks, of Elimination Chamber in Perth, Australia, had specifically requested somebody. They had specifically requested The Rock. Now, mind you, Perth, Australia is about a 6-hour flight from where? America, Samoa.
Okay.
Where's The Rock from?
Miami.
Where's The Rock's family from?
Hawaii.
Which is where American Samoa is, right? So, okay. So, since he wants to be an asshole, there is a large population of Samoans in Australia. So,
and what pay-per-view is that?
Elimination Chamber, February. After the Royal Rumble.
Okay.
So this Friday night, tomorrow night, you've got the 3-way dance to determine, and everybody thinks it's going to be Randy Orton.
Randy Orton.
Which, having Jinder Mahal come out, kind of makes sense that it would be Randy Orton.
Because it's not going to be LA Knight again. It's not going to be.
I don't think it's going to be AJ Styles. No. So, although AJ Styles would probably put on the best match currently.
But Randy Orton he came back saying, "Tell him Daddy's home," blah 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 blah. So
Yes, all that stuff. Like Randy just makes the most sense. You wouldn't put him on SmackDown right now if you weren't going to have him face
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton.
Okay.
You're going to be driving home. You're going to be driving home. You're going, Randy Orton. Cop pulls you over. What's your name, sir? Randy Orton. Sir, What would you like for your cookout order? Randy Orton.
And the second most recognizable athlete in the world.
Randy Orton. So all right. So The Rock comes out. I want to point out that when The Rock went up against verbal discussion against Austin Theory, I think got one punch in. Did you notice how much offense he allowed Jinder? And he even said, "I get that you're a jacked up dude."
Yeah.
And but when he started kicking him and started punching him, I was like, 1, 2, 3, 4.
And he even sold. That was weird.
Yeah, I think we lost signal for a second.
And he even sold before he started promo. He went. He does that too. He sold it.
Yeah, and I mean it's because Jinder's 6'5", Jinder's jacked up, and but let's go ahead and give Sheiky Baby his flowers. He obviously said, "Oh, I know the Iron Sheik. In fact, I think the Iron Sheik would have said, Bubba, you're nothing, you stupid jabroni.
Who is this jabroni?
Jabroni son of a bitch."
Yeah.
Whatever. And I don't know. I'm not quoting. Got his licks in, dropped him, did the people's elbow.
But what he said after.
And then the way he did it, though, it was kind of annoying because he should have just sat there and said, "The Rock's tired. The Rock needs to sit down." And you know where The Rock's going to sit?
No, he set it up.
I know. I
think he did it.
Although he actually he ad-libbed a little bit in there because he's like, "San Diego, The Rock loves you."
Why does your Rock sound like a fucking Stone Cold? Just doing your regular voice.
I can't help it, man. No, my Stone Cold Steve Austin has a damn Southern accent, son. Anyways,
it's 10 o'clock.
Yeah. So, anyways, he sits there and he's like, San Diego, The Rock is hungry after laying that can of whoop ass. Well, I think he actually said both. I think he said
can of whoop ass.
I think he said can of whoop ass. No, you might be right. He probably said smackdown. Oh, laying the smackdown on his candy ass. And then he said, "So The Rock's gonna go out and get something to eat." And I was thinking, is he inviting everybody in San Diego out to the same restaurant? Like, what? This guy's gonna be in trouble.
No, he's probably got the money to pay for it.
Well, he does, but no one else is gonna be able to get in the place.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. Because he's gonna go to like the places I like to go to when I go to San Diego, like the really, really top, for the one meal that I can afford when I'm out there, So, but anyways, he sits there and he says, "But The Rock wants to know, should I sit? Should the Rock sit in a booth?" And everybody's like, "What the fuck's he talking about?"
He said, "At the bar."
Should The Rock sit at the bar? And all of a sudden everybody's like, "Yeah!" And he's like, "The Rock does like a good bar," and that's the ad lib, that. And then he's like, "Or San Diego, should The Rock sit at the head of the table?" And
they lost their fucking minds.
But it wasn't even them losing their minds. It was Michael Cole going, "Did you just hear what he said?" And then Wade Barrett going, "Paul Heyman, call Roman Reigns." And which meant, by the way, that was designed. That was a designed piece of speech. That wasn't them going off cuff. Or that was Triple H gave them notice that this was happening. Have your line ready. Have something good. And they both did. They were both gold, by the way. They nailed it. But if you were anything like me when you first heard it, you were like, "Oh," and you probably didn't even hear them because
I didn't hear them. So I was like, "The fuck?"
Exactly. You were you like all of a sudden it was like, "Whoa," like everything. Look, and you even had warning. I didn't tell you what it was. But you had warning. Me, I didn't even watch it live. I was like 10 minutes behind. You were like an hour behind.
I didn't start watching it until like 9.
But when I heard that, I was like,
"How'd you hear it? Did they have the sound on when you were?"
I was here.
Oh, you weren't.
No, I was here. I didn't go sing karaoke. I was here because I actually was like, I don't feel like going out. I'm just gonna watch
There
it.
you go.
It was January 1st. I was really hungover from the night before.
I forgot to ask you what you did.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that. But I went to my sister's house and
You were on some, oh yeah, Mister, I'm only gonna have a couple beers and I'll come home. Remember, because we talked about it.
they picked me up and brought me back. So I didn't drive, but
Okay, we'll talk about it
the
later.
pictures looked like it was a really fun time.
Shorty, don't send me those
No,
pictures.
no. I got the pictures on my
Okay.
phone. No. It was just me and my nephew and me and Shane and me and Michelle taking pictures, but that was it. Like nothing crazy. The only crazy thing that we did.
Nobody drew on you.
No. I didn't get that bad.
I got drew on you that time.
Yeah, no.
Christy said do it. I'm like, okay. We were drunk.
This was like 15 years ago.
I know.
But no. The only crazy thing that we really did was we took the Hot Ones sauce. We took number 10 and we put it on crackers. And like 5 of us ate the cracker. Dude, I probably dehydrated myself with all the tears coming out of it because I was so drunk. And then that horrible. Anyways, so let's talk about the possibilities of what this really means now. The Rock has now said something that absolutely you cannot imagine that this doesn't mean there's going to be a match down the line against Roman Reigns. So where does it happen? I already mentioned Perth, Australia for February. That would mean The Rock would already have to have been getting ready for this match. Because otherwise he's gonna blow something out.
He's always in shape though.
No, I mean blow out a quad or blow. I mean he was blown up on Monday night.
I think that was adrenaline too. I think.
Oh, it was. I mean, he did the whole.
Yeah,
and you could see them.
Yeah, like, I'm sure it was adrenaline. It was excitement, all that going into.
But is it going to be Perth, Australia? Not for the WWE Championship, but for the head of the table. Because then you get a Roman Reigns match, you get a Rock match, but it doesn't affect WrestleMania one way or another. Do you sit there and finish Cody's story later on down the line and make it Rock Roman at WrestleMania, which means CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble and goes against Seth? What do you do?
I think it's gotta be fucking Cody and Roman, man, because it didn't happen last year because I think Cody was hurt.
When do you do Rock Roman? When?
Australia. And since it's so close to Samoa, you got Samoan,
I almost figured they would sit there and say, we're not even going to do the match in Australia. We're going to do it like on location in American Samoa. No, they'd probably fly the entire family in though for it. No, but and that makes the most sense. But is it for the Universal Championship, or is it?
Because he's not going to be long. I mean, yes, we've had people, like Brock.
But does he lose, or does The Rock beat Roman and The Rock loses to Cody because it's two of the most crazy families in professional wrestling, right?
I mean, even if he won at the February, well, no, Roman wouldn't have a chance to win it back because the next February probably would be WrestleMania.
They might do a SmackDown or whatever.
No, a match that big, that's why we want to do it on the pay-per-view.
So I have one other option. What if The Rock gets so under Roman's skin between now and WrestleMania that it becomes a 3-way dance? The reason why I say that is to protect The Rock and to protect Roman from taking the pin.
Who gets pinned?
Cody pins The Rock.
How does that protect The Rock?
No, I meant Roman. Protects Roman. It protects The Rock because you have two wrestlers wrestling a match and The Rock taking a lot less of the beating.
Okay.
So it protects both. doesn't protect the streak, obviously, because
You got to pin Roman.
you do, don't you?
You got to pin Roman.
So the question is, does the story have to be finished at Mania?
I think if it doesn't get finished at Mania, it's going to be. Remember how we always said that you always said they kept missing the chance with Sammy. I think so. So he fucking lost. So Cody lost last year at Mania.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't finish it this year at Mania. You know what I'm saying? That I think they're gonna.
But his thing has never been about finishing the story at Mania. It's just been about finishing the story. That's why I'm asking this, because I think from a business perspective and strictly business, last year was the biggest year that WWE has ever had, right? And by the way, that was Roman Reigns only defending twice after Mania. Now, before Mania, he defended Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, at Mania, but then only twice after that.
Okay.
So 5 total defenses last year. Maybe 6. He might have had 3.
Which I don't agree with. I think they need to go.
No,
every 30 days.
Well, you need a fighting champion, right? But Roman is bigger than SmackDown at this point. He is. He's going to start being in movies.
He doesn't need the bell anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Correct. However, how do you get it off of him? Because he doesn't defend. So again, my point, my questioning here for everybody out there, if you're in the audience, go ahead and chime in the chat too. The question is, does Cody's story have to be finished there, or should it be finished in Atlanta? Or should it be finished in like Detroit, where Dusty Rhodes was the working man? So being the working man and going up to Americana.
I almost think it should be in Atlanta, or it should be in the Carolinas.
Well, you still think it should be WrestleMania?
If it's not WrestleMania, I'd say in the Carolinas before they do it in Atlanta.
So I don't think that's going to happen. And here's why. I think it's going to happen in a stadium show. So that means Rumble, Mania, although Perth, Australia is a stadium show. Philadelphia, which WrestleMania. They just announced Toronto.
Why couldn't they do it like at Panther Stadium? Is that not big enough?
I mean, it is. It can hold 75,000 people. The thing is that it's Carolina.
I mean, not necessarily WrestleMania, but I'm saying a stadium show.
No. Well, remember, I mean, Raleigh actually held SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Right? So, but North Carolina doesn't sell out. Now, granted, I do think the March show, which is 2 weeks before Mania, is going to sell out. And there's a possibility that The Rock could be there, Brock Lesnar could be there, any number of different people that like we don't normally get in Raleigh could be there.
Too late about it.
No, probably not. But we might just want to walk up to the window, walk up to the door and
I don't want to risk that. Anyway.
But again, Rock Roman at Mania is a bigger dollars and cents thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cody Rhodes, former EVP, and he's made mention of this on WWE television, would know that.
Right.
However, there are rumors that Cody Rhodes has been complaining about his spot on the card and saying he doesn't want to sign his new contract.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you gotta look at this stuff, man. I know. I'm out of work, so I get to look at all this stuff. But Cody says that's the furthest thing from the truth. And I kind of agree. I think Cody is the type of guy that sits there and goes, I'll wait my turn, but my turn better happen. But I think best case scenario, this is what we're looking at, okay? You guys can quote me on this, whatever. Here we go. Royal Rumble, Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton. Cody Rhodes, CM Punk are in the Rumble. I think CM Punk wins the Rumble.
Yes.
CM Punk then sits there and says he wants Seth Rollins, not Roman Reigns. Reason why he does that is because that suddenly gives a little more luster to that belt. Okay? Main event, night one, Seth Rollins, CM Punk. Jaw-jacking, everything else is going to be off the charts. Elimination Chamber, they go, and one person from Monday Night Raw will be in this match. It's Cody Rhodes. Surprise! Hey! That kind of thing. In fact, I would love if they did what I've been saying for years, that booth in the Elimination Chamber should have blacked out glass, so you don't know who that person is.
Okay.
Not going to happen, but that's what I would do. So, night one main event, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. Night two main event, Cody Rhodes wins the Elimination Chamber. However, the main event at Elimination Chamber is Roman Reigns versus his cousin, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Rock gets screwed, loses the match. So that ends up creating, he needs somebody at WrestleMania to go against Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa. His tag team partner, John Cena. John Cena lost to Solo Sikoa. Kind of makes sense, right? Also lets John Cena get a win. Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, night two main event, boom. In fact, I would do night two first match, John Cena, The Rock versus Solo and Jimmy. Get it out of the way, but do it night two, whatever. That, I think, covers everything.
Okay.
However, it's going to be interesting to see if The Rock just wants to do a match, if The Rock can. Like, him and John Cena have tagged before, because they did it at Survivor Series like 2013 or whatever. So it would make sense.
Okay.
Be interesting. We see where that goes. I also have already said that I think Sami Zayn goes up against Gunther.
Okay.
You got Jey Uso probably versus Drew McIntyre, if you do it that way, because originally they were saying Jey and Jimmy.
They were also saying Brock and Gunther.
Actually, Rock and Jey would also be, and yes, you're right, but that's if Brock says he wants to come back. But Rock and Jey actually makes more sense than Rock and John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
Although Cena and Solo have unfinished business. So maybe they make a 6-man match. So anyways, There we go with all that. I'm done. I got nothing else.
I got nothing else.
But I would love to start seeing everybody give the thumbs up to the show. I also love seeing everybody actually throw some comments out there of what they think the main events and the cards for WrestleMania and the Royal Rumble are actually going to end up being.
Yes.
And we'll go from there. But Tino, I leave it up to you, sir.
All right, you can hold it.
What?
Well, that's front row. That's still not bad.
How much?
$185
for front row?
Yeah.
No, that's row 10.
Oh, it's floor.
It's floor, row 10. I don't want floor.
All right, well,
But go ahead and do this first, and then
it's still $70. That's not bad. You can check him out on the Twitter. He's at Podcheck. I'm HoodieFan91 on the Insta. I'm SC Tino. He is a whole bunch. He's a Rob Podcheck, Rob Potsy Podcheck.
We're good there.
Okay. You can check us out on the Twitter, Potsy and Tino, Facebook. We're the Potsy and Tino Show. Each and every week, right here.
We're live right now.
We're live right now on the YouTube on the Pots and Pan Network. You're more on TikTok, so TikTok is
Rob Potsy Podcheck on TikTok.
all right. And as always, we want to say thank you to Adam's House Cats for the wrestling song, 99 cents on iTunes, 99 on our page here. Give us thumbs up, likes, and buy our shit. Until next week.
Till next week, folks, we are going to go ahead and say we are out of here.
Deuces.
99. Yeet, yeet, yeet. Oh, you gotta do the whole.